Well, at least for nostalgia's sake, this was great. So there's a lot going on with the TV show version of Willow. Willow 2022, 2022, 2023, 22, 23, whatever. But there's a lot going on. Sorsha, originally played by Joanne Whaley, she is back as Sorsha. She is now the Queen. And Mad Mardigan, originally played by Val Kilmer, he is dead. Okay, not really. He turns out he left. He just left his family. But nope, wait, that's not right either. Turns out he was sent to go find like this way to beat the crone. And that is apparently this magical chest plate. So he's not dead. He's not a deadbeat dad. Turns out he's still a hero. But turns out he might actually be dead. The whole thing is kind of a little confusing. Because they find his sword and as well as the chest plate, and we hear his voice a couple of times, so it's obviously not his voice because unfortunately, because of the throat cancer, Val Kilmer can no longer speak. So it's an imitator or it's computer generated based on his real voice. I don't know. So he might be alive, or he might be dead, or he's alive in another dimension. It's not really explained. But anyway, this is a journey to defeat the crone, who is after Elora Danan, who is being protected by Mad Mardigan's twin. Actually, no, not the son. The son, Eric, is an absolute idiot. Protected by Kit, who is played by Ruby Cruz. Elora Danan, played by Ellie Bamber. And as well as Jade, who's Erin Kellyman, who a lot of people probably know these days right now from her role in Falcon and Winter Soldier. Then there's Tony Revolori. He plays Graydon, and he's like kind of an idiot prince, but then all of a sudden he has magical powers and he's a sorcerer. It's like, wait a minute, what? And then we have the comic relief of the show, played by Amar Chadha Patel, if I'm saying his name right. He is Borman, and Bor is right. He is not funny. A lot of it is, unfortunately, like forced humor. It's like they're trying too hard. And then, of course, we have Willow himself, Warwick Davis, and he's mainly just a tag-along. I mean, just because the show is named Willow, it's not really about him. He just happens to be there. And, he's training Elora Danan. And, of course, Elora absolutely sucks at it because she had no clue she was Elora Danan. But then all of a sudden she's amazing at it. And it's confusing. And at one point, she starts to show out blonde. And then all of a sudden she's a redhead. And it's never brought up. Like, nobody at all is like, oh, hey, wait a minute. Weren't you a blonde like 2 seconds ago? She's just a redhead out of completely nowhere, and nobody says a thing. So this is me complaining a lot. So was there anything good about this show? It did have its moments. We did get a return to Bavmorda's castle, which had some flashbacks, visions of the past, as well as some ghosts. So that was kind of cool. There were some training montages a little later in the show that were really cool. The fight choreography, mainly the sword fights, those were good. I liked those. The effects, kind of down the middle. Like at times they looked great, at other times they looked terrible. Like the crone's minions, they looked fantastic. It looked like it was mostly practical effects, so that's why I think they look so good. But then the big reveal for the crone, it looks so bad. Like the CGI to create the crone is just atrocious. It absolutely blows my mind how her minions look better than she does. Oh, another good thing, Kevin Pollak returned as Rule, though it's only briefly for like a scene or two, and that's it. But one of the moments that I thought was fantastic, because, in the original movie, Willow's constantly like, oh, I'm going to be a great sorcerer. I'm going to be a great sorcerer. And throughout the show, it's like Willow is a great sorcerer. At one point, Willow says, and I quote, "I'm not a great sorcerer. I'm just a farmer that got lucky." Finally, he admits it. I mean, he is a good sorcerer because he does get some shit done, but obviously not a great sorcerer. At the end of the day, Willow, the TV show, the only thing this show is really good for is the nostalgia. The acting is not great, though I did enjoy Ruby Cruz, who plays Kit, and Ellie Bamber, I think, had her moments. And Warwick Davis, Warwick Davis is always good, and Aaron Kellyman was okay, but for the most part, the acting is just like Borman, the guy that plays Borman, Chad Hapatel. God, just no. Oh, and also Christian Slater just kind of shows up out of completely nowhere. And, I mean, he's Christian Slater, so. The effects, they're both good and bad. The story is very stereotypical. It's the usual, like, fantasy type story. You know, bad shit happens, good people go on a journey, and they win. So it's the same old song and dance. And if you watch to the very end of the credits of the final episode, it teases 2 more volumes, 2 more seasons. And the way this final season, the final episode ended, they're definitely at least teasing 1 more season. But, I mean, I'm going to watch it because I started it, so I'm going to finish it. If it actually happens. But I don't have much hope because this season, I don't know, man. I expected more, if I'm being honest. I give Willow 2022/2023 because it ended in 2023. I mean, I'm not gonna, I can't fail it because it's not great, but it's not atrocious. Does have some good aspects to it, but for the most part, it's not great. I'm gonna give it a D. Did you enjoy the review? Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to get notified when more reviews go live. Feel free to leave a comment to discuss your thoughts on the movie or show, and I will see you next time.